Express the following rational expressions in simplest form. State the non-permissible values of the rational expression as restrictions on the variable. So in all of these examples here, the basic approach is that we're trying to factor out the greatest common factor in the numerator and in the denominator, and then that will either cancel against a factor that's either upstairs or downstairs, or it can be reduced. So if we take a look at this first example here, in the numerator we can factor out an 8, and then we're left with x plus 2. In the denominator we have 2x. So here we can get rid of this 2, and this 8 becomes a 4, leaving us with 4 times x plus 2 over x. The non-permissible values here for x will be 0, because if x equals to 0, then the denominator will become 0, which is not permitted. Same approach in b. The numerator stays the same. In the denominator, we can factor out a 10, leaving us with x plus 4. And here the 5 cancels and the 10 becomes a 2. And we're left with x over 2 times x plus 4, where the non-permissible value is going to be -4, because if x is -4, then this binomial becomes 0. 2 times 0 is 0, and that's not permitted. In c, in the numerator, we can factor out a 3, leaving us with 2y plus 3. In the denominator, we can factor out as a 3 as well, leaving us with y minus 4. The greatest common factors 3 will just cancel, and we're left with 2y plus 3 in the numerator and y minus 4 in the denominator. And the non-permissible value here for the variable y is that y cannot equal to positive 4. And then finally, in the numerator here, we can factor out a 2, leaving us with 4 minus 3x. In the denominator, we can factor out a 4, leaving us with 1 plus 3x. Here the 2 disappears and the 4 becomes a 2. And we're left with, in the numerator, 4 minus 3x. In the denominator, 2 times 1 plus 3x, where the non-permissible value for the variable x is going to be that x, we can't actually see it. Hold on, let me just move this down here. X cannot equal to -1/3. Where do we get this from? Well, if we look at the denominator is a product of a monomial, the 2, and a binomial, 1 plus 3x. If the binomial 1 plus 3x equals to 0, then whole denominator will be equal to 0. 2 times 0 is 0. So what we can do here is we can pull out the binomial 1 plus 3x, and we can just set it equal to 0, and then determine for what values of x will this expression equal to 0. We subtract 1 from both sides, and then we divide by 3. So x will equal to -1/3.